and they were like, "Oh my God!" He was just jumping through the pyros. The first thing was like, I grabbed my hair in the back like that, and then, oh yeah, still good.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time at the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Alex, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Excitement is growing because finally we're here. Well, we're about a month away as we speak of the epic finale of the Occult trilogy. This is something that you've been working on for a long time, so I can only imagine how eager you are to share all of this with the world.
Yeah, thank you first for the invitation, and second, it's exciting. We have crazy times, yeah, right? The world is going upside down, and here we go. Crazy times need crazy music. This is the soundtrack for the end of the world, OKKULT III. And indeed, some of the songs, like one song, Fire Ignites, for example, reflects perfectly what's going on in the world right now. And when we wrote the song, there was not a war breaking out in Ukraine. So we are facing really some challenges. And actually, the Occult trilogy is based on a concept which is having a wide range. You know, occult world doesn't mean it's only religious, or it's only conspiracy, or it's only the world of ghosts, so to say.
Yeah.
Range, and that's why we made a trilogy and not only one album.
I think this was in the press cycle for the previous Occult album. I think you described it as, you know, the story we tell is the dark side of humanity, and then you mentioned the war in Ukraine. Perfect example of that dark side of humanity. Before we go into the record, which is important, before we talk about everything music, you guys jumped in straight away to help out. You supported a number of actions that were, you know, using to raise money and awareness for the conflict. At times like this, it becomes very clear in life what our priorities.
Well, yeah, and we have also people directly connected with the band, like two guys from our crew. We were touring like in 2019.
Yeah.
Corona, they are living in Kiev, and also we have people on the artwork which are Ukrainian but also Russian. So it's really how you say that. It was not unexpected, because I was talking with these guys on the tour bus, and they already were sniffing out something will happen. And but it's really something you would not imagine in the heart of Europe, a war, while everyone was begging no more war, right? Never again, in all these phrases. And yeah, in a way, like one thing is also becoming more and more clear, that one thing from the start we did the Occult trilogy is actually happening across every system, across all the religion, and it doesn't matter if you have aristocracy, democracy, dictatorship, or religion. It's one thing: they all control with fear. That's how they manipulate people, is fear. That's how they control. You know, if you behave, you go to heaven. If you don't, you go straight to hell.
Yeah.
And also in democracy, it's the same thing in a way, you know, and like people afraid maybe of other things than hell, or, you know, stuff like that, maybe with money, or they are afraid of all kinds of things, which affecting the way of living. So that's something we actually, you know, have included into the whole concept as well. It's not like, you know, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things which is going on in the world, and it seems like, you know, it's some things are on purpose, some are not just, you know, having such an impact by accident. A lot of things are also planned, and manipulated and so forth, and you just have to have to see where you got the information and everything from, or where you are for yourself getting like the background of a story. Each story has also a story behind, and that was always interested in, with history and the dark side of humanity, also connected with things which are really affecting either events or history or places. And yeah, that makes it so exciting also to write songs about that.
We know, obviously, not just from Atrocity, but stuff that you do outside of Atrocity, we know that you are a fan of history. Working through this album and researching and what have you, are there elements that you kind of discovered or rediscovered for yourself that that were newer to you, that making this album kind of has a spillover effect, if you will, in your own life?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, every album has its own character or its own journey, so to say, musical.
Yeah.
And also, we knew also from the start, every album should stand for itself. Not repeating one album 3 times doesn't make sense. So in this case, from the new one, I wanted really to grab out the most evil and harsh side and brutal side of this band. Also when memories coming up, how it all started and all that, it has also, of course, an impact. And that's why people say, oh, are you going back to the roots? I mean, we never deny the roots or something like that. But it's like, musically, it's a very refreshing album. Although, we have that same spirit, like when we actually started the band. The flame is still burning inside, and it always will. And the thing is, for us as a band to have new challenges with a new album, something like the occult or like this last part of the trilogy, it's just like having to work on.
Yeah.
You have like all this kind of ideas and bring the pieces together. It was really amazing. Also with all the topics in the stories, for me, as also writing the lyrics and all that, it was really great, because there's like one thing also very clear. You cannot put everything in what maybe you have in mind or your vision. So you have to pick very carefully. This might be cool, or this should be also on the album. That you keep the variety, musically and lyrically.
It's always fun, I find, when people try to define Atrocity, because some people will say that you're just a pretty intense thrash band. Other people say no, they're death metal, and then there's a million different ways that people can describe your band. But going back to talk about the roots, this album is coming out in the 35th anniversary year of the band as well, which is quite a milestone if you think about it. Depending on maybe
35th year. Wait.
Well, I mean, it depends on how you count. If you the officially the band's been around since 1988.
No, 1985.
85. Oh, well, there I go. So
and
it's even beyond that.
It was 85, and we started with another name, but it's the same band. But
Right.
Name only some months or whatever.
Yeah.
Found out a punk band is having the same name, Instigator, and I was like, okay. So we called the first demo Instigators, and that came out in 1988. But the band was going on already for 3 years, and that was like a sum up of our demo days, so to say. We already had a style even then.
So in other words, your 40th anniversary is coming up pretty quickly. Not to make you feel old, but I mean, this 40th anniversary of the band is coming on the heels of this completed trilogy. Does that mean that you're already thinking, given that history is important to you, so I can only imagine that certain milestones and reflecting on your own journey might be also somewhat important? Does that mean that you're thinking of okay, how are we going to make that 40th anniversary extra special? I mean, with 3 albums together and an entire back catalog as well, obviously, there's a lot that you could do with that for special celebrations. Is there anything that you can already share?
Yeah, the thing is that we made the 25th anniversary show at Wacken, which was a huge show as well, with all kinds of specials, and we had like dancers in cages on stage, and yeah, and we made actually also a musical journey, like a best of from the very brutal stuff to rock 80 songs, like everything included, so to say. Yeah, that might be an idea, but what people were asking right now was like if you're going to play like the OKKULT trilogy in full length or like everything. Well, I don't know exactly if we're going to do the full. But we can think about to play like OKKULT only shows.
Yeah.
It's always tricky. You have like some classics from the band, like you mentioned, like Todessehnsucht was for sure. Very important album. Hell's Nations, of course, the first one anyway, like the first techno death metal album, if you want to say so. Then Blood, the vampire album. A lot of people said afterwards, oh, you should do only that, vampire songs. But well, we did already the next thing, and for us, it's like always something when we go out that people request also, some band classics to play.
You posted recently, some photos of the Rammstein show that you went to see, and that for me is like a good, like also example for a band like Atrocity, or like Rammstein, a band that, yes, the songs have to be there, but boy, that is a band that knows how to bring a show and amplifies the quality of their music through that show. And so if you look at Atrocity throughout the years that you mentioned, like we've done vampire themed albums and we've done different things, and we always try to bring a show. The show at Wacken is a perfect example of that, where even though you kind of had the same history, put one of the Florida death metal bands on that same Wacken show and they'll be standing there in their t-shirt and shorts, and that's it. It's always been a proactive thing in your mind that like, hey, a show is actually something that it doesn't take away anything, it doesn't compensate, it's actually amplifying music. Is that fair to say that that's been important for you?
Yeah, and also like with the videos we're doing, and also the artwork. I'm a storyteller, so to say, in the music, and it's great to put on some visuals as well. And it's not always possible to bring like all the fire and pyro, whatever, into a club show. Most
sure, yeah.
allow that, yeah. Yeah, and Rammstein, that's like that's the top notch. It's biggest show on earth. I told Christoph, a good friend of mine, I told him, wow, that's can't go bigger than that. But we did also some really great live shows, also with Leaves Eyes, the other band with the Viking ship and the Vikings on stage and all that. It's always a lot of also work behind, a lot of preparation and all that. But if it all comes together, it's really also great fun, and especially for the fans, they get like the full package. With the videos, for example, as I'm also directing and filming myself, doing this also for other bands. That's something, I also really like to do. Also working here in the studio at Mastersound with other bands to record and produce albums, but also to film video clips and having also maybe a cool story or some visuals. Yeah.
Well, so that's that. I mean, people obviously know you from your two key bands. You've been also you don't even mention right now that you've been also a guest on so many other albums as well yourself. Between your two main bands, Leaves Eyes and Atrocity, and then all the work that you do behind the scenes, somehow I feel that's not enough for you to let all your creativity out. Like, are there other projects that you're thinking of?
Might be. But the thing is, but it's something really we talk about the future.
All right.
We'll focus on the OKKULT celebration day.
Exactly.
Or like that we have like done the grand finale. So that's what we're focusing on now.
I will actually tell you that you mentioned Leaves Eyes. So the first time I ever saw you on a stage was, I think it was back in 2005 when you were supporting Camelot with Leaves Eyes, if I remember correctly.
But maybe it might be 2007 or something. 2005 we were also in the States and in Canada.
No. This was back in Belgium, in Europe, actually.
Oh, in Belgium,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I moved 10 years ago from Belgium.
Okay. Yeah. So whatever year that was, maybe also around that. It's around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have been there. Cool.
And I remember from that time seeing you on stage, like, this has to be the guy with the longest hair in metal.
He's the back longest hair.
Exactly. It's just to wrap us up on a bit of a lighter note, because it's amazing to see the new album come out, and we'll keep our eyes open for all the shows that will be announced and so on. But just as a bit of a lighter question, that massive, insane amount of hair that you do possess, what's been the most annoying moment in your career where that hair fucked things up significantly for you?
Yeah, I was also on stage. Might be even something we played in Belgium, if I'm correct. I was stepping on my own hair, windmill banging, and then I was like, ugh, because I was standing on my own hair.
Yeah. Was that with like the Female Voices festivals, or?
Might be that one, yeah. Might be. Yeah.
Awesome.
And there was another, in the Metal Female Voice, there was another incident happening. I think it was like on the first show we played with the Viking ship. There was like the last, I think it's even on the DVD, but you don't really realize that if you watch it. But there was like the last boom from the pyros. And there was like, there are steps down from the Viking ship. It's a huge Viking ship, stage on the stage, and you walk down. And the pyro guy was asking if it is okay to put pyros in front or like just close to the stairs, and then they only use them, at the very end.
Yeah.
And I think I forgot about that or something, and I was exactly at the moment on the stairs and thinking, shit, wasn't there like something? Oh yeah, it was. And then I was jumping through, and then the thing went all up. And they were like, oh my God, he was just jumping through the pyros. The first thing was like, I grabbed my hair in the back like that, and then, oh yeah, still good. I was thinking already the hair went all up because of the heat. I was like, oh, is it still there?
Man.
It's a funny
the
story.
The dangers of being a front man of a metal band. Alex, I wish I could spend hours talking to you about both, fun memories like that and about everything that's coming ahead, because I know that even though it's, 40th anniversary, it's by far the end of the Atrocity journey. So it's really exciting to see how everything keeps going.
We have still some time.
Yeah, exactly. So I look forward to having more conversations about everything coming out. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on a stage this summer.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you and in person again.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it, and subscribe to the channel.